嫌になっちゃうよね。見たくなくてもここで生活してたら誰かの処刑を見なくちゃいけないなんてさ。ねえルド、私は見たくないよ、ルドが落とされるところ。確かに捨てるにはもったいないなって思うゴミも多いけど、そのためだけに危ないことして捕まって最悪本当に奈落に落とされちゃうかもしれない。
レグトにも言われた。
おじさんもルドのこと大好きだから心配してるんだよ。
大好きって。おじさんもって。ん？い
や、別にそういうんじゃ。ルド？あれ？そのぬいぐるみ。
これは見た時にお前が好きそうだなって。捨てられたもので嫌かもしれないけど、こいつもただ捨てられるよりお前のそばにいる方が幸せだと思ったんだ。だから
嬉しい。ずっと大事にする。
レグトに教えてやらねえとな。どんな反応すんのか楽しみだ。なんだこれは。なんでこうなった。違うのに。頼む、誰か俺の話を。レグトが殺されたんだ。頼む、犯人を探して。
信じてたのに。やっぱり人殺しの子供なんだね。
汚れは奈落。Okay, so I watched the first episode of Gachiakuta. Man, that was so funny. Okay, not actually like towards the end, but I was watching this one with a friend and we were having a great time just when the world was getting set up, because it was so ridiculous at some points. Like, what an excessive world. It creates such wonderful lines, like this thing about trash raiding and stinking up the city with their horrible trash and all that kind of stuff. What a dramatic overrepresentation of the idea of people producing trash. And I gotta also wonder like how bad climate change is in this world, because if they're just like throwing things away at this rate, like I really wonder. Anyway, yeah, no, Gachiakuta, a story or a series by someone that the Soul Eater author called their successor. I thought it was really cool. I'm really happy that people or that we checked this out on a stream and I saw the trailer, because that definitely got me interested. And overall, I'm excited to see where it goes. It's pretty interesting that the first episode is largely just setting up the world and giving us very quick stakes. When it comes to this first episode, aside from just the aggressiveness of what this world is like, I actually quite enjoyed the twist that they were adding into it. So first off, like in terms of the setting itself, I wonder if the setting later on is going to be more fleshed out as they try to make some things make sense. And the reason I wonder that is because to some degree, when I'm seeing the very first bits of the clean world, I wonder what situation you have to be in to have the slums right outside the walls and to be allowing the people of the slums to just walk into the city. That's a really unique situation. You usually don't have that kind of thing happen, and it makes me wonder if the author went in there first and she just created this hyper setting, and I'll just call it a hyper setting because like Soul Eater is also a very hyper in its own thing kind of setting, and so is Fire Force to a lesser degree. So I wonder if she created this hyper trash-centered society first without thinking about the logistical consequences of the things that the people say, and then she just fleshes it out later as it becomes more relevant for the story. The reason you would think about that approach is because this was a manga first, right? And you never really know if an idea is going to really take off with the audience, so you just create the setting first and you don't really think about logical consequences until later when you have a chance to breathe. It depends on the author. Authors that don't really plan too much, that's kind of what they end up having to do later on. So I do wonder if things are going to be made to make more sense later, but for now I thought it was very interesting that you could allow someone from the slums to just be walking in the city, and there's no security checkpoints or anything like that. Very different, very odd. I was really impressed with that. And then moving on, of course, we were making the jokes that you have the little girl talking to our main character, you have his uncle, and it's like, okay, someone's gonna die. Like the uncle's gonna die or the little girl's gonna die. This romance cannot happen. So I was pleasantly surprised when we have the uncle die and we have all that good drama happening, and then we have the kid about to be cast down into the pit, and then we see that shot of the girl that I used for the clip because I really thought it was one of the best ones in the episode. It just takes a bit to like make it work. But yeah, we have that scene and the girl gives up on him, and it's like, shit, yeah, this is all right. Did not see that coming. So whenever you get to have that moment, you don't really see it coming. It's like, wow, yeah, like cool. I'm in. Especially like, coming into this thinking like Soul Eater and Fire Force. It's like, wow, yeah, that was impressive. But otherwise, for the first episode, I guess it's interesting that we don't really get to see a lot of the power scheme that they're going to be using for it. Although you can kind of figure out what they're going to be doing if you didn't watch the trailer, just from the way they're talking about the sentiment within items. And as I go into the future of the series, I hope that someone is going to point out that there's different levels of trash. Like, yeah, you have a stuffed animal that you can repair, but surely we can all accept that a tarnished piece of plastic is trash, right? Like, there's no way to make a scrap of plastic worthwhile, right? Like clearly there are lines here. Anyway, yeah, Gachiakuta. So far, you know what? The little twist they had in there, it got me. I'm really interested in the setting, not just for how hyper sensationalized it is, but mostly for that little detail. And also, what was also really aggressive? The uncle telling the kid that he has to change the world. That's wild. That must mean that the markings on his hands are important or something like that, and everyone's just being quiet about that. Anyway, yeah, very interesting. Want to see where this goes. I love the villain. Like, nice insult to injury at the end there. Guys, let me know what you thought down below, and till next time, I hope you have an absolutely great day. If you watched the commentary, I really appreciate that too.